All right, so I'm just going to jump right into this one because this is one of my favorite topics to talk about whenever it comes to photography and portraiture in general. I feel like the importance of a photography experience over just good photos is a topic that isn't quite discussed as often as it should be. We're all aware of the fact that nowadays digital photography is at everyone's fingertips. We all have a phone with a camera on it, and the cameras are not terrible. They take great images. They're perfectly fine for standard family photos, and phone photography is a genre in and of itself. I think that everybody now has an opportunity to be a good photographer in the sense that we can create good images with almost any device that we have in our hands at any time. Because of that, the professional photography world is rapidly changing. Anybody can be a photographer now. Anybody. And it's not fun to think about as a professional. It's not fun to just come out and say it. But the fact of the matter is, anybody can produce good quality images now. And that's okay. And it's kind of great because honestly, everybody deserves to have good photos of them and their family, and I think that it's wonderful that that's something that we all get to experience now. However, as a professional photographer, it is more important now than ever to create not just good images, but a good overall portraiture experience. I feel like, especially now that we have access to these wonderful machines that can produce good images, that it's harder to find a photographer that you are willing to invest in because you know that you can produce perfectly acceptable images on your own. So why would you want to pay somebody else to do it? And I wholeheartedly think that the only reason to invest in a photographer anymore is that you get the full-on photography experience. You get to have a photographer there who is fun, who is interactive. They're going to get you laughing and smiling and being your true self in front of the camera. They make you comfortable. They're going to pose you in a way to where you feel good about yourself. Because I know something that I strongly relate to is I do not like being in front of the camera. I hate it. I feel like I always look weird. I hate my mannerisms. I hate the way that my body just naturally falls. So something that I look for in a photographer is someone that can pose me in a way to where I feel good about the images that I'm going to see. I think that that's probably, for me personally, the most important thing is posing, and also my biggest pain point as a portrait photographer. Posing people is really difficult because another thing that we have to be mindful of is what looks good on one person may not look good on another. And what I think is beautiful, someone may experience as an insecurity. There's so much that goes into it, but overall, I think that in the current situation we're in, a good photography experience is worth an investment. And it is absolutely more important to offer a good experience than it is good photos. Good photos are the ultimate result of a good experience. But it cannot just be that you have stellar images anymore, because while I would like to say, hey, look at my work, it's wonderful, I can make you feel beautiful and I can make you look it, well, so can 20 other people within a 2-mile radius of me. So I have to figure out what is going to make me stand out from that crowd and what is going to make my client choose me over all of the other photographers in this saturated market. Another thing to be mindful of is your experience. Whether you're a professional or a client, your experience as the professional photographer is what is going to make or break your clients. I feel like I offer a very positive and uplifting experience. That might be too much for people. My personality can get really bubbly and I can get obnoxious. That's going to turn people away, and you know what? Those people are not my ideal client. There's someone else's ideal client. There is somebody for everybody right now, and I think that that is so awesome and so wonderful, and there's so much that we can learn from that. So by producing this experience of photography, you're also sending away those people that may not be the most fun to work with. And you really get to curate this list of clients that is just so perfect and ideal and fun. And it's going to bring all of you joy. So I think that whenever you start shopping for a photography experience overall and not just good images, I really think that both the photographer and the client walk away with something that is much more than just a portrait session. And there is so much more I could say on this subject, but I think that a photography experience overall is quite possibly one of the most important parts of being a professional photographer. So I hope that this video has been helpful. I hope that there is something I've said that's clicked, and hopefully you can take this information moving forward and find yourself an amazing photographer that you're going to stick with, because that's another amazing thing, is whenever you produce a great portrait photography experience, your clients are going to want to come back. And as a client, you're going to appreciate that in your photographer, that not only are they a professional that you enjoy services from, but you also really like them as a person. And as you grow together, your family grows, people get married, babies are born. That person is the one that you want there, and you know that they're going to capture you in a way that you want to be captured because you've been working with them for so long, and their photography experience is something that you enjoy investing in.